Meanwhile, the city of Hamilton is reporting 89 new cases over the past 3 days, pushing Hamilton's weekly average to 22 new cases a day. At the same time, vaccination rates are only increasing slowly. And at this rate, the medical officer of health says Hamilton won't catch up to provincial targets until mid-September. Emily Tayler explains.
COVID-19 cases in Hamilton, as well as the rest of the province, are trending upward. The city's medical officer of health, Dr. Elizabeth Richardson, says this spike and a rise in the percentage of people testing positive for the virus are early indicators that cases could swell.
Our percent positivity amongst the test results as well is showing early signs of an increase, currently sitting at 2.4%.
The majority of new cases are in those under 60 years old, and the average number of new hospitalizations and deaths remains low.
But of course, these are things that lag behind in terms of the cases.
Richardson doesn't think we're in a fourth wave just yet, but is watching the numbers.
We know with our last wave, we had sort of these little peaklets, as my colleagues called them, as we went up. And so it did take some time for those numbers to rise. And there was some ups and downs along the way. And what we were looking for was the trends over time to see what happened.
Over 95% of cases in the city since December last year have been in unvaccinated people, and 4.4% have been in partially vaccinated individuals. With the rising cases, Hamilton Public Health is urging anyone not vaccinated to get their jab. Hamilton also needs to raise its vaccination rates in order for the province to be able to enter the next phase of reopening. Ontario can exit Step 3 and shed many public health restrictions like capacity limits if at least 75% of the eligible population is fully vaccinated, with no health unit below 70%. The province could have left Step 3 last Friday, but many health units, including Hamilton, are lagging behind. 67.8% of Hamiltonians 12 and older are fully vaccinated, and just over 77% have had their first dose.
The numbers continue to rise, going up slowly. Indeed, we saw a very quick rise initially, and then it's kind of a steady rise, and now it's a slower rise for our different age groups.
At the current pace of vaccination, Public Health predicts that Hamilton will reach the threshold by mid-September. Earlier this week, Queen's Park actually released guidelines for what exiting Step 3 would look like. Ontario's top doctor had initially said that Ontarians could ditch the mask once we exit Step 3, but now the guidelines say masking indoors will still be necessary.